Welcome to Football Wisdom. Today, I want to speak about a big signing, huge signing, and that is Eberechi Eze is joining Arsenal. Yep, he's not joining Tottenham Hotspurs, he's joining Arsenal. Yesterday, David Ornstein put out a tweet. He said, Eberechi Eze has agreed personal terms with Arsenal ahead of completing a move from Crystal Palace. The deal's in principle already struck for a 27-year-old attacking midfielder to join Arsenal. The player's part is now finalised too. Now, according to different sources, Arsenal Football Club have agreed to pay around £67 million plus add-ons to Crystal Palace. In today's market, that's a bargain. For someone like Eze, who's a superstar, paying £67 million is a bargain. Now, I briefly want to speak about Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham Hotspurs, for the last 2 weeks, were in negotiations to sign Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace Football Club. They were the only club that was in a market for him. And you know what happened? Daniel Levy wanted to penny pinch. He did not want to pay the full fee for Eze. And because of that, yesterday evening, it took Arsenal Football Club around 4 hours to negotiate a deal with Crystal Palace and personal terms with Eze. Whereas Spurs had over 2 weeks. And he could have easily bought Eberechi Eze. Now, if Daniel Levy just paid the full money and he wasn't penny pinching, Eze would have been a game changer for Tottenham Hotspurs. Eze would have taken Tottenham Hotspurs to the next level. But once again, because Daniel Levy wanted to dilly-dally around, they lost him to their biggest arch nemesis, their enemies, their rivals, to Arsenal. This is a shame. And you know, as a fan, I keep seeing this over and over again, where every transfer market, Daniel Levy just wants to dilly-dally around. He wants to penny pinch rather than paying the big bucks. If you want to win the Premier League, you got to be willing to pay the fee. You got to be willing to pay the money. If I was a Spurs fan, I'm a Chelsea fan, by the way, but if I was a Spurs fan, I would be sick to my stomach today. I would be ashamed because you had Eze in your hands. If Daniel Levy and the Spurs board just gave him 180,000 a week or 200,000 a week, if they paid the full price to Crystal Palace Football Club, Eze would have been a Tottenham Hotspurs today player. He would have been a Spurs player today. But no. Daniel Levy wanted to penny pinch. He wanted to, dilly-dally around as he does every year for the past 25 years. Well, look what's happened now. I think what happened yesterday is one of the most shameful things that have happened to Spurs in the last 25 years. Now let's talk about Arsenal. I got to applaud Mikel Arteta for making this happen, because Eze is a superstar. Eze is a Premier League proven player. Eze is not a player that's coming from France or Italy or Germany or overseas. He's a player that's Premier League proven, and once he joins Arsenal, he's going to hit the ground running. I mean, we're talking about a player who can play centre attacking midfield. He can play number 10 forward, but above all, he can play as a left winger. We're talking about a player who is versatile, who's creative, who brings goals, who brings assists. Eze is a superstar. And for Arsenal Football Club signing him, they mean business. I got to be honest. Arsenal have gone from being a decent club to now being Premier League contenders. Yep. Arsenal could win the Premier League this season. I got to be honest. With Eze in the team, they could definitely win the Premier League. Possibly. And you know what? By Mikel Arteta signing Eberechi Eze, he's indicating to all the Arsenal fans, to all the other football clubs, that Arsenal mean business this season. When you look at Chelsea, when you look at Liverpool, when you look at Man United, Man City, they've all bought very good players. Some of them even bought world-class players. But Arsenal buying Eze, Eze is the type of player that Arsenal fans have been waiting for so many years, and they finally got him. Incredible signing. Now, with Mikel Arteta, he has spent around £140 million this season. He bought Gyökeres, he bought Supermendy, he bought centre-back from Valencia, and now he bought the superstar, Eberechi Eze. This season, the amount of pressure that's going to be on Mikel Arteta to win the league after practically spending so much money on top quality players is going to be huge. And if he does not win the Premier League this season, there could be a possibility that he could get the sack by the end of the season. However, let's not talk about that now. Once again, Eberechi Eze, he is a game changer for Arsenal. He is a player that's going to take Arsenal to the next level. Eze is going to bring that killer instinct, that creativity, that forwardness, the relentlessness that Arsenal squad has always needed. Now, me personally, I would not start Eze on a left wing. I'll play him as a centre attacking midfielder, or time to time I'll probably play him as a forward. But playing him left wing every game, that's a recipe for disaster. I wouldn't do that. But I'm not the manager of Arsenal, so it's up to Mikel Arteta. But as a Chelsea fan, Arsenal, they look lethal this season. Arsenal, this season, with the players that they bought, incredible. But Spurs, how on earth did you fumble this? You've had 2 weeks to get the deal done. You've had 2 weeks to put the money up. And last minute, you fumbled it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it at all. And once again, if I was a Spurs fan, I would be sick to my stomach. I would be ashamed. This is one of the darkest days for Spurs. I gotta be honest. It's one of the darkest days. It's one of the most shameful days. And you know what? The Spurs fans really have to question Daniel Levy and the board, how serious they are for winning trophies. And you know what? Last May, I think it was this year, actually May, Daniel Levy made a whole speech about winning the Premier League and how Spurs are a club that are ambitious. Well, you not willing to pay the full price for Eberechi Eze just proves to me that Spurs is unserious of winning the Premier League. One of the ways that Daniel Levy could get out of this shameful act that he done is by signing a huge player like Rodrigo from Real Madrid, or another big player such as Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig, or another huge player that could be on the market. But if Spurs do not buy a top quality player in the next 2 weeks, this action should be a proof that Spurs is unserious and they lack ambition. You know, it's all good of having a beautiful stadium, but if that stadium does not have any trophies, what's the point? What is the point? But you know what? Thanks for watching the video. If you're a Spurs fan, I would love to know your opinion, how you feel about Eberechi Eze, how you feel about Daniel Levy and the Spurs board. If you're an Arsenal fan, I would love to know your opinion of signing Eberechi Eze, because you must be over the moon if you're an Arsenal fan. By the way, don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching.